Welcome to the Airgun Show, brought to you by Airgun World magazine. Check out the link in the show description for subscription offers which include shooting insurance. In this week's episode, I'm going to be looking at a great affordable solution for after dark hunting. But before that, I'm targeting grey squirrels that are refusing to come out until it's almost completely dark. Right, I'm heading out on what should be quite an interesting shoot this evening. Now, the squirrels have been causing a heck of a lot of damage in these woods this year, and what I've done is set up a bait station as usual and loaded it with peanuts. And over the last week or two, those peanuts have been disappearing rapidly, and with that in mind, I was expecting a pretty productive first session, but my first couple of visits were actually surprisingly quiet. The first one was early in the morning when squirrels are usually very eager to feed. The other one was a bit later in the day and I wasn't quite so surprised that it was quiet, but it was evident that there wasn't a lot of activity at the feeding stations during those times. So I then came for a later session, knowing again that squirrels tend to feed pretty hard before it gets dark. And that started out really slow and then went absolutely mad just before the light completely went. Darkness was really closing in. So I'm going to leave it later this evening. My theory being that maybe the squirrels are afraid to come out by day because they're being harassed by a bird of prey. There are a lot of buzzards here. So it's still pretty light now. So I'm not going to settle into the hide for a little while. So in the meantime, I will just talk you through the kit that I'm going to be using this evening. I suppose it makes sense to start with the feeder. Now, the feeder that I'm using here is from Keith's High Seats. These feeders are actually made by Keith Watson, who does a hell of a lot of squirrel control himself, and he really knows what he's doing. They're not the cheapest feeders, but they are incredibly solidly constructed. They've got a lid that prevents birds from stealing whatever feed you're loading them with, and they've also got a pretty considerable capacity, so you're not constantly making trips back and forth to keep them topped up. Now, these genuinely are about the best feeding stations that I've ever used, and I'm more than happy to recommend them. Today's gun and scope combo will look very familiar to regular viewers. The gun is my trusty Daystate Huntsman Revere, and it's the Safari edition. It's a beautiful looking airgun, but the most important thing is that it's incredibly accurate. This one is a sub 12 foot-pound 177 caliber. I'm currently running it on QYS pellets. It tends to shoot best with the streamlined version in the 9.56 grain variant. Lovely tidy pellets, very consistently manufactured, and seem to really suit this particular gun's barrel. The scope is my MTC King Cobra, which is another really regular part of my usual setup. That's held on with Sports Match scope mounts. Now, I regard the King Cobra as a mid-price scope really, but its performance far exceeds its price tag. Thankfully, it's a pretty good performer in low light conditions, and that's going to be a big advantage this evening because we are going to be shooting right through to darkness. So that's what's happening here. That's the kit that I'm going to be using. We're going to wait for the light to fade for just a little bit longer and then settle into the hide. Well, right on cue there. The first squirrel of the evening turned up for its evening binge. That one obviously thought that whatever it was that's been spooking them by day wasn't going to be around now. Unfortunately, I was. Well, these squirrels certainly are a bit jumpy. And that one actually froze on its way to the feeder. I would normally wait, let them grab a peanut and settle down, but I just had a feeling that that one might have spooked, so I went ahead and took the shot. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear it on the audio, but there's a heck of a lot of bees buzzing around, making a lot of noise. They seem to be swarming close by, and I'm hoping they're not going to cause us any problems. And there's another one. It is amazing that there can be so little activity around this feeder in the morning and right through the day, and then it goes absolutely mad as darkness approaches. It's really quite unusual. I'm about 30 metres from the feeder, which is pretty much bang on zero with this setup, and you can probably see that through the scope cam. Now the MTC King Cobra, it's a great little scope in low light, and the only problem is you do tend to lose a bit of image quality when you're going through the scope camera, so I hope the view is as good for you as it is through here for me. Well, I would say that one definitely sensed us, but it didn't stop it from settling on the feeder. And the light really is starting to go now, but we'll give it a bit longer. I'm going to make that the last one. It really is starting to get dark now. Now, that said, I've not had to revert to using the illuminated reticle on the King Cobra yet. I've got a reasonably good view, but it's getting very tricky for Nikki to work with the camera. So we will wrap it up. It's been a decent evening though, and there's quite a few less squirrels damaging the trees here now. As ever though, I've no doubt that there are plenty more to be had from this spot, so I'll be back for another Twilight session very soon. A rude Twilight Zone awakening for those nearly nocturnal squirrels there. Next up, I'm taking a look at a great little gun lamp that offers an affordable solution for shooters that want to head out hunting at night but don't want to spend a fortune. The nights are drawing in, and the one question I get asked more than any other at this time of year is what is the best affordable solution for after dark hunting? Well, the best solution to that problem is lamping. It's a proven tactic that has worked for decades, and it doesn't come much more affordable than this. This unit is the Richter Optic Gunlight and Illuminator. Distributed in the UK by John Rothery Wholesale, it has a recommended retail price of just £89.95. So what we have here is, as the name suggests, a gun-mounted lamp, and it very handily provides illumination wherever you point your rifle. Now, of course, you can also detach it, in which case you've got a really useful handheld torch. It also happens to be very compact. It's just 16 centimetres long and it weighs 360 grams, including the gun mount and battery. So it's not going to compromise the overall balance and handling of your rifle. This powerful little lamp runs Cree XP2 LEDs. It can cast a beam out to 300 metres and it's perfectly suited to targeting rabbits and rats with an airgun. Now it comes supplied in a hard plastic case which is foam lined. Inside there you'll find the main unit plus some really useful extras. So let's take a look at them in more detail. Starting with the mount, it's a very simple clamp which is quick and easy to use. It keeps the lamp aligned with the scope, which, as I've said, means you've got illumination wherever you aim. Now it comes supplied with 2 rechargeable batteries and a charger. Runtime is up to 4 hours, but the beauty of a setup like this with interchangeable batteries is that they're really simple to swap out and very cheap to buy if you want more, and that means you can stay powered up for as long as you need. Also in the kit you will find a pressure switch. Now, while some shooters will prefer to use the standard switch at the rear of the main unit, by swapping that out for the pressure switch which attaches to the stock, you can operate the lamp without having to adjust your hold on the gun. Now this switch is particularly clever because it offers you 2 options. There's a switch on it that enables you to switch the lamp on and leave it on, or you can use the pressure button, which means the lamp only lights up while you're applying pressure. The Richter Optic Gunlight has a 250 lumen beam which is focusable. So that means you can switch between a tight spot for long range work or a wide flood for closer up jobs such as picking up shot quarry or reloading. Now focusing is simply done by twisting the head of the torch in and out. This lamp has another trick up its sleeve in that it comes with modular LEDs which you can easily swap over to change the colour of the beam. Now the white one is the brightest, but it also comes with red and green, which can be really useful when quarry becomes lamp shy after sustained shooting pressure. There is also an infrared LED, and that means that this lamp will still be useful if you have or move over to a digital infrared night vision unit. Now, swapping over those LED modules couldn't be simpler. You simply unscrew the lens to give you access to the LED module, then screw that one out and replace it with whichever one you want to change over to. You don't have to have digital night vision optics to carry out effective after dark pest control. Lamping tactics still work as well as they ever did. It is an affordable solution, but its simplicity is one of the big attractions for a lot of shooters. There's no complicated tech to get to grips with, you can just crack on and get the job done. Apart from being effective and very versatile, This lamp is also solidly constructed and it's covered by a 1-year warranty. It also has IP67 waterproof rating, so you don't have to worry about getting it damp if you get caught out in a shower. It's constructed from aircraft grade aluminium, it's tough and it's easy to keep clean. So that is the Richter Optic Gunlight and Illuminator. This brand has a great reputation for delivering quality products at sensible prices, and it looks like they've done it again with this one. With autumn advancing and the days getting shorter, a lot of shooters are going to be turning their attention to after dark pest control. I can really see this setup appealing to shooters who want to get on and do just that, but don't want to spend a fortune on kit to do it with. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for in this week's episode, but as ever, I'll be back again with more in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and do take a look at that link to the Airgun World magazine subscription offer, which includes shooting insurance. As I said, I'm back again in a fortnight. In the meantime, enjoy your shooting and stay safe.